What's up, guys? Brian Grant here of ContestChampion.com, and today Kabam has hit us with some new information about Update 12.0, which is set to release tomorrow, like less than 24 hours from the time this video uploads. So hype is definitely real at this point. But the information that they're hitting us with today has to do with Act 5, which is set to release 1 week after the initial update. So it's not going to be available in-game right away, but let's go ahead and jump over the forums now, and yeah, we'll check this out. So, as usual, I'm going to try to go through this as quickly as I can, summarize it, give my thoughts on it, and all that good stuff. But if you want to read this information for yourself, there will be a link in the description of this video, so you can go ahead and check that out for yourself if you'd like. So to start things off, they talk about the story a little bit here, but there's not a ton of information, so I'm going to skip past that. The quest is going to be a permanent addition, just like the other acts 1 through 4 of the story quests. The release schedule is not going to be a monthly thing, but they do confirm that it will all be out before 2017 is over. There is no increase to the level or energy cap. They talk a little bit about the difficulty here for Act 5, but I mean, how much could they really say, right? We have to just try it out for ourselves. There is the fight quitting penalty turned on for Act 5, so anyone who was I almost want to say cheating by force closing your app if you started a fight poorly. Actually, I don't even want to say almost cheating. It's definitely cheating, right? That's not going to be a solution for you anymore. So tough luck there. There are some new buffs and some debuffs and stuff like that. I want to talk about that in just a moment, but I want to jump down to the rewards first. So. Yeah, the rewards, they're going to be good, but they don't talk about the rewards for all of Act 5. They're only telling us Chapter 1. They're saying that we have to wait, but they are going to be pretty legendary. Pretty, wait for it, legendary. There's also not going to be the legend title for just the first chapter. So anyone who is going for that legend title, you're going to have to go to the monthly event quest for that, I guess. So the rewards, I'm going to point out what I think are the best rewards here. For a one-time clear of Chapter 1, you're going to get 2 Tier 4 basic catalysts. And yeah, I'm betting like it's probably not going to be super difficult to do a one-time clear. It's probably not going to be a walk in the park either, but I do plan on doing like a one-time clear of Chapter 1 of Act 5 just to get these Tier 4 generic catalysts. Of course, the other rewards, they're nice too and everything. But I do think that these are the best part of the initial rewards, right? If you do a full exploration of Chapter 1 and Act 5, you will walk away with a Tier 4 class Catalyst Crystal, which is awesome. If we think about how the rewards worked for the other chapters in Act 4, everything just kind of ramped up. So I don't know what these rewards are going to look like for the future chapters, but I'm guessing like we're going to get like 2 Tier 4 for Chapter 2 and so on, you know. We're also getting like a decent number of the Fragment Crystals. These things add up. 10 for the single clear, and then 20 for the full exploration. So don't underestimate those. But the biggest reward here, Tier 4 or 4-star Awakening Gem. So yeah, that's pretty nice. That's pretty nice right there. The fact that they're giving away a generic Awakening Gem just for Chapter 1. Like, think about the future chapters, man. Like, it's probably gonna. I mean, I don't think they're underselling it here with this wait for it legendary thing. Like, right? It's probably going to be some pretty nice rewards. All right, so actually, what I think is the most interesting part are these buffs and debuffs, because this is the actual game, guys. I can't tell you how disappointed I was playing a game like Diablo 3. If anyone has played that, where all they did was they said, oh, okay, we're just gonna turn the numbers up so that the enemies that you're fighting, they hit harder and they take longer to kill, right? I was so bummed when the developers of that game did that for whatever reason, right? Don't want to talk about that game too much or my disappointment in it. But when it comes to this game, Kabam is not doing that. They're actually making things like pretty interesting. So the first thing that you notice here is that there is degeneration, and degeneration is not something that the players of the game are big fans of, right? I'm not a huge fan of it myself, but they're doing it in kind of an interesting way. So we're getting 300 attack boost. So the fights are going to be shorter, I'm guessing, than the typical degeneration fights. And they're making it so that if you have a class advantage, you're only going to suffer half of the amount of degeneration that you normally would. So 50% over 60 seconds. That's actually not that bad. I don't think it's going to take 60 seconds to bring down the enemies. I could be wrong on that. Who knows? But what I like about this is that it's an interesting mechanic. It makes you want to get through the fight quickly, and it also makes you bring some class diversity. I think a big problem in this game is that for the longest time we've just been using like one champion and then a lineup of champions to synergize and boost that one champion. And I'm not a big fan of that. I like having some class diversity. I like where the game asks me to really go through my roster and find an interesting set of champions that will all combined and allow me to tackle the challenge together. Not just like, oh hey, you've got Scarlet Witch and the 4 strongest synergy champions that you could find, right? So that is done, guys. That is done. Happy to see that go, and I'm happy to see them continue to push in that direction. All right, Breakthrough. This one is very interesting as well. So the boss has 5,000 armor rating, and I don't know what 5,000 armor rating translates to, but I think it's safe to say it's a lot. Like they're probably reducing damage taken by like 90% or more or something to start out the fight. But what's interesting about this is every time you land a hit, you reduce their armor by 100 permanently. So as the fight goes on, it's almost like a Star-Lord effect where your damage is going to be garbage in the beginning, and then it's just going to ramp up and up and up over time to the point where if you land 50 hits, all their armor rating is gone, all their additional armor rating at least, and then if you continue to land hits, it's going to keep reducing it. So yeah, your damage really will get insane at a certain point. Okay, we have another degeneration node here. You degenerate 2% of your max health per second, but you have lifesteal. So all of your champions have lifesteal. So this is a pretty heavy amount of life degeneration. But imagine now you don't have to go in with a lifesteal champion. You could use any of your champions. You could use your favorite champion and kind of combat this life degeneration with this lifesteal that they're giving. And they're also pushing that same class relationship thing. So definitely a fan of that. Next up we have Burden of Might and Power Focus. Now, I'm lumping these two together because it seems like they play off each other and go together, but I don't know for sure. Basically, Burden of Might is every time you gain a buff, you lose 25% of your max power, which is a lot. And then you also have a 15% reduction to power gain for every buff you currently have active on you. And it even goes on to say if you have 7 stacks of the same buff, like Fury, for example, you're not going to be gaining any power at all. And at first when I saw this, I was a little bit worried that it was going to be like a Labyrinth of Legends effect where it just made most champions in the game kind of useless. But it's not the case. It's only buffs this time. It doesn't have to do with debuffs. And it's only reducing your power gain. It's not just like crippling your damage. So you should still be able to use a ton of different champions here. And then the other side of this power focus is that you're gaining crit rate based on the stored power that you have. So it seems like if you don't use a champion that has buffs and you don't mind just holding on to your specials, you're gonna increase your damage output by a lot. Like 25% extra crit rate is a lot, and it seems like it's just an extra 25%. It's not even like the new rating with diminishing returns and stuff like that. Don't know for sure, but yeah, it seems like you're gonna get a lot of damage. And I like that dynamic. I like that they have this for certain champions, just kind of built into their own flavor of the champion, like Ms. Marvel, Captain Marvel, Wolverine, another example, where you have some kind of benefit for not firing off that special immediately. Then we have Brute Force and Kinetic Instigator, which I'm lumping these two together once again, because it seems like they do go together. They both have the boss in here, and it just seems like they play off each other a bit. So the way Brute Force works is that it's another degeneration effect, but there's a way around it. All you have to do is land a hit every 6 seconds, and you'll never have degeneration on you. Probably easier said than done, right? You're definitely going to be taking some damage throughout the fight unless you play it absolutely flawlessly. And I like that. I like that it's asking you to play aggressively first off, and then it's also asking you to play with a lot more skill and precision to the fight. For example, let's say Captain America World War II, right? He's a very popular champion in this game. because he's a little bit forgiving. If you don't land a parry every single time, right, and you end up taking some hits while blocking, it's okay because you have high block proficiency and stuff like that. But in a case like this, if you're not landing those parries, or if you're not intercepting, or if you're not dodging their ability and finding a way to punish the opponent for firing off that ability, you're gonna start losing your health. It's gonna start fading away very quickly. Because if you're standing there taking those blocked hits, even though their hits aren't doing a whole lot of damage to you, if you're not getting that hit in every 6 seconds, well, yeah, say goodbye to your life. And it also does play off of that class advantage and disadvantage thing here. So if you have a class advantage, the degeneration is going to be much less severe. In the case of like a disadvantage, it is just absolutely deadly, right? You'll drop incredibly fast. Now the reason why I think Kinetic Instigator goes with it as well is that it seems like they are going to reward you for, let's say you can't actually get a hit off on the opponent or the boss in this case. They're still going to reward you a little bit for hitting him or her while they're blocking. So you're still going to get the same power gain that you would as if they weren't blocking. So at least they're doing something like that for you, right? But overall, I think that these buffs and debuffs and stuff like that, they really play nicely off of one another. And yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to this update in a big way. They're really making it interesting, and they're not just throwing out the usual buffs with that standard increase in difficulty as time goes on kind of thing. So yeah, definitely looking forward to the challenges, looking forward to the rewards, and yeah. Again, the link to this entire post is going to be in the description, and the update for Act 5 will be out 1 week after update 12.0. So yeah, until next video, guys, have a good one. Take care.